All right, this is the end of the road, part 2, up to the very end of the book. And the man has been sick. There are some of these confusing statements, like I'm indicating here. Look around you, he said. There is no prophet in the earth's long chronicle who is not honored here today. Whatever form you spoke of, you were right. A strange, again, another religious sort of allusion or evoking a religious sensibility that the man is thinking that all the prophets of the past religions were speaking of this boy. All right, again, it's a sort of extreme view of the child as a savior. Again, whatever form they spoke of as the coming of some savior, this is they were correct. The boy is all those things. And then we go back to the more clear elements of the man actually dying. He says, the man took his hand, wheezing, "You need to go on." He said, I can't go with you. You need to keep going. You don't know what might be down the road. We were always lucky. You'll be lucky again. You'll see. Just go. It's all right. I can't. It's all right. This has been a long time coming. Now it's here. Keep going south. Do everything the way we did. So the man is hoping that the boy is prepared. The boy doesn't want to leave, regardless of whether he feels prepared. He says, "No, you're going to be okay, Papa. You have to." "No, I'm not. Keep the gun with you at all times. You need to find good guys, but you can't take any chances. No chances. Do you hear? I want to be with you." The boy's not listening. The thing here is, of all the things he's taught him, he hasn't taught him how to find the good guys. He's taught him how to hide and not take chances. So he says, "I want to be with you. You can't. Please. You can't. You have to carry the fire." "I don't know how to." "Yes, you do." "Is it real, the fire?" "Yes, it is." "Where is it?" "I don't know where it is." "Yes, you do. It's inside you. It was always there. I can see it." So here's where the fire is most clearly, even if it wasn't clear before, a figurative thing, a concept that the man has created so that the boy has a reason to go on besides him. Right? The man always had the boy as a reason. All right, I can't hold my dead son in my arms. I thought I could, but I can't. This is a reference to their original sort of deal, which was that if the man were to die, he would take the boy with him. "You said you wouldn't leave me. I know. I'm sorry. You have my whole heart. You always did. You're the best guy. You always were. If I'm not here, you can still talk to me. You can talk to me and I'll talk to you. You'll see." "Will I hear you?" "Yes, you will. You have to make it like you talk. Make it like talk that you imagine, and you'll hear me. You have to practice. Just don't give up." So we can see when we read to the end, he actually does do this. Again, another concept, and not necessarily religious. He's talking about the boy having the man sort of in his mind and in his heart, so to speak. Okay, so he says, "You'll be okay. You're going to be lucky. I know you are. I've got to stop talking. I'm going to start coughing again." The boy then is waiting with him. The man dies, and he just stands in the road. He doesn't know what to do. He stays there for 3 days. Stayed 3 days, and then he walked out to the road and looked down the road. Again, 3 is one of those divine significant numbers. He piled all the blankets on his father, and he was cold and he was hungry. The man that hove into view and stood there looking at him was dressed in a gray and yellow ski parka, carried a shotgun upside down over his shoulder on a braided leather lanyard, and he wore a nylon bandolier filled with shells for the gun. A veteran of old skirmishes, that's battles, bearded, scarred across his cheek, and the bones stoven and the one eye wandering. When he spoke, his mouth worked imperfectly, and when he smiled. So he asked where the man was. They've been following him. It seems a very uplifting ending, but there had been this idea that they've been followed throughout the novel. "How do I know you're one of the good guys?" "You don't. You'll have to take a shot." Again, this is not something that his father would do, or that he trained him for, but this is what the boy has always been looking for, the good guys, and taking a chance. "Are you carrying the fire?" "Am I what?" "Carrying the fire." "Kind of weirded out, aren't you?" "No, just a little." "Yeah, that's okay." "So are you?" "What, carrying the fire?" "Yes." "Yeah, we are." "Do you have kids?" "We do." "Do you have a little boy?" "We have a little boy and a little girl." "How old is he?" "About your age, maybe a little older." "And you didn't eat them?" "No." "You don't eat people?" "No, we don't eat people." So here we see this private concept of fire exposed to someone else, and they just don't understand what he's talking about. This has been something between the man and the boy, Now it's externalized to somebody else, and we can see how it's very much their private metaphor. All right, and I just wanted to look at the ending here, where we jump forward for the first time in the novel, the only time. The woman, when she saw him, put her arms around him and held him. "Oh," she said, "I'm so glad to see you." She would talk to him sometimes about God. He tried to talk to God, but the best thing was to talk to his father, and he did talk to him sometimes about God. I'm sorry, I lost my space there. The best thing was to talk to him, and he did talk to him, and he didn't forget. The woman said that he was all right. She said that the breath of God was his breath, yet though it passed from man to man through all of time. This is a biblical reference where God breathes life into man, and so the woman is clearly religious, which indicates that things work out for the boy. However, this last paragraph, once there were brook trout in the streams in the mountains, you could see them standing in the amber current, where the white edges of their fins wimpled softly in the flow. They smelled of moss in your hand, polished and muscular and torsional. On their backs were the vermiculate patterns that were maps of the world and its becoming, maps and mazes of a thing which could not be put back, not be made right by man, right again. In the deep glens where they lived, all things were older than man, and they hummed of mystery. So this seems to indicate that things can't be put back together. So even though the boy is saved, there isn't going to be a save. The earth itself isn't going to be saved. But the perspective shifts here to something older and not human. So perhaps the indication here is ultimately there is no positive outcome for humanity, even if there is one